Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Today, I have a very, very special guest here for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
Hey, Kimberly, thanks for having me on the show. This is exciting. My name's Cliff Skelliter, aka Cliff Notes on Instagram. If you want to find me, I am a creative director, art director. I own an agency called Sky Story Creative. I do Indigenous art integrations and a bunch of other storytelling related activities as my profession. And guess where I'm calling from up north? I'm in the Great White North. I'm looking out, I'm seeing snow, just piles of snow out there. This is what I wore to work, this jacket. And so I'm up here in Northern Ontario, just a few hours north of the big city of Toronto. Kimberly, have you been to Toronto?
Never. I want to go, though.
We got
I
to get you
will.
up here. You got to come
Yes.
visit us.
Yes. So
We
can
love
you,
our American friends, just so you know. No matter what you hear, what else is going on, and I saw there was some politics stuff on the show. I was like, I've seen the intro. I was like, oh, talking politics. I'm like, yeah, we love our American friends.
thank you. Can you extensively tell me about your whole background, your past leading up into your present? I would love to know.
You're opening up a can of worms there, Kimberly, extensively. Woof. I mean, geez, Louise, when I was 12 years old, I was outside eating a Dorito with my cousins, and a bat came down, took the Dorito right out of my hand, flew off into the sky. I saw a Dorito fly off into the sky. That's not what you're asking about, but listen, if we're doing extensively, I got to tell you stories. I'm a fact check that. It was actually my cousin. It was my cousin that had the Dorito. It just seems funnier if it was me. I was one of those, kind of class clowns growing up, just being silly in school, not taking it seriously, just showing up to have fun. I liked going to school because I saw my friends were there. That's where they were hanging out. So I was going to school to hang with my homies, but I wasn't like activated by like the the school stuff. I was there just like being, what I was? I was a why kid. The teacher would be like, you got to do that. I'd be like, why? And he'd be like, well, because of this. And I'm like, why is that? Right. And it would just be disruptive. Right. But I think that whyness in me, there's this book by Simon Sinek called Start With Why. He nails it in that book because it's like, I think that's what kind of led me to where I ended up. Right. So not a great student, somehow kind of floated around in my early 20s. Ended up in school for advertising, didn't finish, went in for graphic design, didn't finish, went back for something else, didn't
If you
finish.
if you can rewind time, what would you say would be the chunk or the answer to why you didn't finish?
Why I didn't finish is I was so distracted by like aspects of my social life that I was not planning for my future very well. I think that I didn't have a lot of mentors. I think that I had a father that was missing in my life. I think that I had just the wrong things I was looking up to. Like I felt like I was going to do something creative, but I also didn't really have the understanding of having a work ethic towards it. And so the reality was, I was very interested in chasing girls in high school, being like, what party are we going to? Who are we going to hang out with? Next thing you know it, all my friends are off at school. And I'm just kind of sitting there like adult being like, what have I done here? Right. And I wasn't, I didn't think this through. I wasn't thinking this through. And so just improper planning, not having a full understanding of the real world, just being young, immature, naive, and then just kind of ending up in school and kind of just going to go because I'm like, honestly, social life. I'm like, what am I going to do? Okay, well, I better take something in college, right? Just so I could, do something, right?
So you
Uh,
were basically good, more so good at social life than classwork.
Killed it. Kimberly
Understood.
Cloud. Let's just talk the truth. I was, it's like that classic line. It's like, I got A pluses in recess or whatever. Yeah, I was a social guy. At one point, my nickname in high school was 411 I don't know if you guys. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so that is a thing there. Okay, yeah. So my nickname was 411 because that's what you dial to get information. That's a throwback for some of you guys that may not know. There's some people in my office right now looking, being like, "What is? I don't even know what that is." That is how you got information back in the day when we didn't have the internet. And so yeah, that's what I was doing. But I did have strong social skills and I did have good self-awareness. Like, so these were strengths that end up coming in play as my life develops, as I gain awareness.
When did your life develop?
Well, I think where I'll say, I mean, obviously my life was always developing, but when I really started to gain momentum, I ended up getting a general arts diploma because I had taken so many things. They said, "Here, let's slap all this together. We'll give you a diploma just to say you have something." I parlayed that into going to university to take communications and not a minor, officially a minor in film, but like every film class that was offered in that university. And that's where I started to see, okay, skill development. I'm still in my 20s, right? I'm still in my mid 20s, and it's like, okay, I gotta get good at these things because these are the things that I am genuinely interested in. And so when I finished that, I ended up getting a what do you call it? An internship at a news station, CTV. So if you're from Canada, that's like our top private news broadcaster, right?
I've looked that up before. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
big.
Yeah, that's our thing here. We've got CTV and then we've got CBC. CBC is our public one, publicly funded. CTV is private, so that's a private organization. And so I got I got lucky, right? Again, I don't know if it's luck, but my teacher liked me, and when they reached out, they say, "You got anyone?" My teacher recommended me. Not necessarily because I was the best student, but probably because I don't know, maybe she saw something in my personality and the way I thought. And so I worked there for a few years. I did everything in the building. I reported. I was a video camera
Did
operator.
they teach you on the job?
Well, I learned some stuff in school, and then
Mm-hmm.
they do a degree of teaching you on the job, but you're really teaching yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
you're learning. I mean, some of the stuff they try to teach you, at first you listen and then you start to realize, like, I'll tell you, you guys have all heard this on the news. It's like the very sing-songy style. Sometimes they're like, and the man was walking down the street when he came across something in the alleyway. What he
Yeah.
saw, you'll never believe, right? Like, there is this style of news telling that used to be really popular, I guess, and it still kind of is there a little bit. And I don't know what the idea is maybe to come across as like as non-offensive as possible. I don't know what the theory is. They do try to teach you to talk like that, and I remember being like that, like it messed me up for a little bit. I'm like, this doesn't sound like me. I hate this voice. And then so I moved into other areas. I directed live newscasts. I
Get
did
out of
many.
here. That is huge.
Yeah.
Were you always nervous before you hit that live button, or you were just in sync with the crew where
Uh,
y'all were like, bam, and it's over?
Kimberly Cloud, I love the version of me that you have in your head. I wish it was the reality. It wasn't. You were right. I was nervous. I didn't do it long enough to even get in sync. And also, I'll tell you this is a little secret for you if you don't know this, if you haven't worked in a newsroom. No, but everybody hates each other. It's not that they even hate each other. It's just like they're annoyed. There's a lot of annoyed people in newsrooms, just like annoyed and miserable about things. And I also was just I was just, I don't know. I just, in that moment of my life, I just didn't have enough practice at the time, and I wasn't there long enough to really get it. I feel like I didn't find my confidence. I still questioned myself too much. I remember one of the producers looking over at me and saying, "Listen, we're not doing surgery on babies." And I was like, it's a good line. That helped a lot. And so
Yeah.
I'm like,
It did
we
not
ain't,
help.
yeah.
It made
I'm
you more
like,
nervous.
exactly. I'm like, what do you mean surgery on babies? And so so I did that, and then I just wasn't liking it. Again, glass ceiling, classic stuff. You're like, I'm not liking this. I don't like this. Like, there's nowhere to go in the direction I wanted to express myself creatively. People
Did you
kept that.
ever feel any pressure? Like
Uh,
when you hit before you hit that live button, like from the people there?
I don't know. I think I felt pressure from myself. I always had like,
Understood.
I think this is a point. I think even when I was in my lackadaisical days, right, where I was just slacker mode, I still even had this high expectation for myself, even though I wasn't working towards it yet. I had this expectation in the back of my head, like I'm going to accomplish something, right? I was doing nothing to do, but prior I wasn't doing anything to get there. So here we are. I mean, I'm like done. I'm like done at the news station mentally. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start my own business. I know nothing about starting my own business. My family doesn't have a business. I don't have anybody that taught me anything about business, but I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna go down to the regional business center. I'm gonna get some brochures. I'm gonna fill out some forms. And eventually I found a way to start my own business. Got a little bit of a couple of bucks to be able to buy a camera. And that's what I started. I just started shooting videos. I just started
Of
shooting.
what?
I remember one, I got hired by a chamber of commerce to record one of their events.
Oh my
I
God, that had to be that is great. The Chamber of Commerce.
It was all right, it was all
Yeah.
right. I was like, okay, that's the beginning, right? Now I realize obviously all of these years of being good socially is now I'm not fully aware yet at the time, but I'm about to become aware how much this is going to benefit me because I have this ability to go in, make friends with people, connect with people, and you
That's a
know,
hard job. I just have to tell you. But
it,
you make
it,
it look easy.
that's why I hate. You're right. I love that. Like Will Smith's, like I'll make this look easy. Like that plays in my head. And I hate to say it. Like so much of this is difficult, but that element of it did come naturally to me. That portion, I was able to go, okay, this part we could do. We could be in rooms with people. We could have fun. We could make people laugh. I could laugh at myself while still being taken seriously because I'm good at what I'm doing. I'm getting good at what I'm doing. I'm getting better all the time. And so, yeah, that's right. So that's right. I start doing so I'm getting like mediocre gigs, but I find out there's this car dealership in town. This is like year one stuff, right? There's this car dealership in town. They're about to celebrate their 100th anniversary. Cambrian Ford is the name, and we go and we pitch them. I have a business partner like the first 2 years of my business, and then we go our separate ways. But me and him, we decided, okay, listen, we're gonna go pitch this business. Like we're gonna add some stuff in here. Like there'll be people will submit videos. We'll do a contest. We'll give away a car. We'll have all this. Like, now keep this in mind. Instagram doesn't exist yet. To give you an idea here, it's like 2008, 2009. So like this stuff, even though it sounds like pretty standard stuff, at the time it's not standard, right? We're kind of coming in with a little bit of like innovative thinking of how we're going to do something that really engages like their audience, and like they could submit videos of their Cambrian Ford experience, and it was a pretty cool pitch. And then at the end of it, they were like, hey, can you tell me about like things that other people have done that, or so that you've done before that makes me think you could do this. I had no experience yet. And they're like, okay, well, I don't think we could responsibly hire you. Well, at the time, I knew, I found out from a friend that they needed their building painted.
Did you
I
paint it?
I said, I'll paint your building for half the price anybody else will if you consider giving us this gig. And they were like, I can't say no to that. That's an incredible idea. Here's the
That
thing.
it is. Yes.
I didn't know how to paint. I never painted a building before. I maybe painted like a bedroom at best. I had no idea what I was in for, Kimberly. Kimberly, I didn't know what was going to come next, but I was like, I'm going to get this gig. And so we get out there. It's summertime. It's super hot. We get all this paint. We need a lot of paint. This is a big old building. We get scissor lifts. We rent all of these things. There's not a lot of good YouTube channels at the time to show you how to do everything like we have now. We're just figuring this out, going to the paint shop, saying, how do I mix it? Trying to mix the paint so it all matches. I'm up
You
on
see how the planet aligns with you to make you to have you paint and everything.
It sucked, Kimberly. I messed it up. I tried at one point because it was going so slow. I'm like, maybe there's a way I could buy a little machine I could spray this paint on. And I tried to build a little tarp around me and everything. I got paint on cars, on like millions of dollars in damage. The owner comes running out, freaking out. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You're like getting paint everywhere.
The plan was good. The plan was good, but the work.
Kimberly, I still think you're giving me too much credit. And I like it, Kimberly. I like how much you're giving me credit. I was like, this, everything was bad. Okay. Everything. I messed this up. I'm going to jail. I'm getting out of Dodge. I'm fighting non-extradition countries. I'm leaving. I'm going. I don't got no money. I can't go nowhere. I got to finish this job. I find some sort of clay that allows me to be able to remove paint from vehicles without removing the paint. Thank God that existed. I didn't even know it existed. I managed by hook or by crook to get this job done. And I remember the owner at the time, Scott, oh God, don't do this to me. Scott McCulloch, Steve McCulloch, Scott's his brother. Steve coming out and saying, man, I would have given up 3 times by now, and you somehow finished this. I don't think I've ever seen such a hard worker in my entire life. I think if you work half as hard on this media project as you did on painting this frickin' building, this is going to be like a blockbuster. And so that's how I got that gig. And we launched the campaign. It wasn't without its hiccups, right? We were still inexperienced, but it ended up being a big success. We met the head of Ford Canada. He came down for the launch of the campaign. And it's what kind of put my name on the map in the area of the world that I live in.
How many people are in your employment? And, tell me about a good video you other than just the chamber that you've captured, and you and your team have memories of collaborating together and using critical thinking skills.
I mean, we got so many at this point. I mean, I guess at this point we're now, well, what's the math? We're about 17 years into it. So I could tell stories to the what is it, till the cows come home. Right now we're a small team, right? There's 3 full-times, 2 interns. small but mighty. And then I also utilize a lot of contract workers as well. I hire them and bring them on contract. So the team could range from 5 to 15 or whatever is needed to get a project done that we get brought in on. Even though, I started off as a video production company, it actually very quickly morphed within a year or 2 into a branding agency. And so the bigger focus of the agency became less about videos and more about brands, building brands, logos, brand identities. Again, we've worked on a lot of different videos throughout the year, but I mean, I'd say the vast majority of things is branding. I'll tell you a branding story that I think is fun. That I got brought into to do the branding of a Princess Diana exhibit, right?
Exactly.
And so, this is live, dude. I can't talk. Sorry, bro. He just keeps wanting to talk to me, and I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm on a live podcast here. Okay, sorry. So I got brought in to do the branding of a Princess Diana exhibit. And I come in, this is really exciting. I'm excited to do this. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to learn a lot here. And as we're coming in, I'm asking questions. I'm like, how's this going to go? What's this going to look like? What's blah, blah. And I guess the team wasn't having the most success with the art director that they had on in the art direction. And I picked up on that and I go, I got an idea, right? This is like 2020 or whatever it is, or 2021. I'm like, I got an idea. I'm like, we've all been locked in our homes and like we've been watching TV series, binging TV series, docu-series. What if we do Princess Diana, a first of its kind walkthrough documentary exhibit where every room in this exhibit is like an episode in her life. And they were like, wow, I love that. Right?
I love that idea too.
Same deal. They look at me, they go, show me something you've done like this before. This is the story of my career. And I guarantee a lot of you guys listening to this, you'll have experienced this. And this is where you really got to sell yourself. or just be like, listen, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make this happen. Now, I was able to cobble enough things together from my experience throughout, my life and my career to say like, hey, here's why I believe I could do this, because I've done this, and this. And if you put them all together, if you look at it and squint a little bit, you can maybe say, hey, he could pull this off, right? Because it's about risk mitigation for people. They're about to spend a lot of money on something. They're trying to mitigate risk. They don't want to hire somebody that's going to waste their money. So they took a chance on me. And it worked out for both of us. And I came in and it was really, really an exciting experience. I got to work with a guy named Anwar Hussein, who was the first photographer of Princess Diana. Like, he was her first royal photographer from the beginning. And was
Did you
there.
paint this piece, or how did this piece look? Tell me more.
So he was her first photographer. So it was
Yeah.
literally, we had access to like thousands and thousands of photographs throughout Princess Diana's life, like everything you could imagine, right? Stuff people had never seen before of Princess Diana. And so we were able to break up this. We were blowing up these photos to these ginormous sizes. Nick, can you grab me that photo right in front of me? We were blowing these up to such a huge size, and we built these glass frames that would hold them with really cool lighting, and each room was a different moment of her life. And then we had headphones, right? Because what we did is we scripted it, and we had an audio book going with it. So when you'd go through, you'd go to the picture, it would give you the story of what was going on in her life in these portions. One episode, I guess you would say, was called Fashion. It was all about her fashion. One was about family. One was about, giving back. Just to give you an idea here, I'm going to have somebody like this. I actually held on to this because this was one of the pictures we printed out, and I just couldn't help but want to hold. Hey, Sean, you could probably help him, pal. So this was one.
Oh my God, that is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. So this was the first official photograph. Well, they're not going to be able to see it if you hold that up high, Nick, Sean. So yeah,
Tell me about this photo. What was going through her mind, or where was she at?
Yeah, again, I got to draw from memory a lot because I did this about 4 years ago. I think she was about 17 or 18 years old, and then it was first announced that she was dating Charles, that they had been dating. And once that found out,
was there a ring on her hand yet?
Oh, no. They were dating. This was just the first announcement that they were dating. That's all, right? Like, it's not, we don't even get to that part for quite a while afterwards. Well, not that long after, a couple of years. I don't know. I'm going from memory. Don't test me. I might be wrong. Go on the internet, people. You'll find out. No, but she's young, and that's the first official photograph when she's dating Prince Charles. And so again, it was such an incredible opportunity. We ended up kind of getting to do a lot of fun stuff. I ended up being the spokesperson as well, so I got to do a lot of the media stuff. I ended up in People magazine. How cool is that?
That's very cool.
My mom was proud. Yeah, my mom was proud. We had fun. We traveled at Santa Monica, Washington, Chicago. So we went places. And it was really fun, and the audience responded super well, and it's still doing its thing. I mean, you could go to Princess Diana Accredited Access, and it's traveling to different places around the world at this point. And so people could still see it. Look at that. Hey, David and Danny, I'm still plugging your, if you watch this somehow, I'm still plugging your exhibit. David and Danny are like the founders, the ones that started the whole thing. So
where do you see yourself going in the future?
Well, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing, and right now I'm in a space where not only am I doing branding, and I'm fully immersive, what we call environmental design, where somebody will come to us, and if they have we'll do it like just branding, but also we'll do like physical spaces where like you're like, if you have a store, not only will we do your logo and all of that type of stuff, we'll also design the store itself, the layout, the feel, the vibe. And there's a lot of psychology that goes into that, and a lot of thought that goes into that, you know, ways to lay out stores and ways that increase like sales, but also creates a better customer experience. We're still doing these art integrations where, you know, one of my biggest missions is to ensure that more Indigenous ways of being, thinking, and traditions are being demonstrated in public spaces where people could experience it. You go to Europe, you go to these other countries, and you see their history there. And it's like, it's so amazing. And I think one of the things, at least in Canada, I won't speak for America, I'm not an American, but for Canadians, we're always like, what is Canadian culture? What is our history? We're so new here, right? This is the new world, as they call it. And our history is our Indigenous people, and there's a lot of beautiful culture and traditions. And I think that even for people that come to visit our countries, like the tourism, people that want to come and see and say, hey, North America is a dope place to visit, right? We all have this shared history with Indigenous people, whether you're Canada, US, or Mexico. We've got this incredible shared history with Indigenous people. And those stories, even though it was a lot of oral traditions, those stories are still there. They still exist, man. They were some people tried to wipe them out. They didn't get wiped out. They're still there. The voices are still there. The stories are still there. And I mean, the reason why I called myself my agency Sky Story Creative is because of the Sky stories, right? There's so many beautiful, interesting Sky stories that Indigenous people have right across what we call Turtle Island, which is North America. Turtle Island is North America. Okay, because the belief with some communities was that the world was just on the back of a turtle. Isn't that funny? And if you actually look at North America, it actually looks like a turtle. So you're like, how did these people know the land they're on? There's no way they could have known the land they were on
already. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
GPS knowledge.
1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, how'd they know this was shaped like a turtle? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, would they walk the perimeter of it? That would have taken 85 lifetimes.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's really cool. Hey, if you leave with anything, guys, like Turtle Island, just know that like we all live on Turtle Island together. Canada, America, Mexico. Hey, maybe some of our politicians aren't getting along, but as people, because we're like what matters, not not the politicians, all that stuff that we could sit there and argue and debate and blah, 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 blah. They're not the ones that matter. We're the ones that matter. We're the people, right? And so agree. We the people, we're on Turtle Island. We're on this turtle together, and we're going somewhere, and we're going to get there, and it's going to be dope.
How can the people reach you? Well said.
Thank you. Okay, so if you want to, again, hit me up on Instagram, like Cliff Notes, right? I still have fun on there, man. I know some people I'm on TikTok, but that's just me and my dog hanging out. Honestly, it's me and my little mini golden doodle just being silly, and it's mostly her. Check out the website, skystorycreative.com. Check us out. We're about to launch a new site. We're weeks away from it, but in the meantime, you could check out the one that's there. You'll see me just on there, just flexing. Just kidding. I don't flex, but I'm there. And that's it, man. That's how you can find me.
Okay, stay on the line. Thank you, everybody, for joining my show today. Y'all take care, be safe, and I'll see you guys another time. Bye.